So it's been a week or so it's about time I put another video up. This time I'm going to talk about the 997 and the running costs over the past year. It hasn't been that bad. It hasn't been that bad. Good afternoon, everyone. It's Friday morning in Sydney, Australia. So today I thought I'd talk about the costs of the 997. So how much has the 997 cost me in 1 year? I guess this cost is not really representative of what you might pay for your 997 or your 911. Obviously I had some things done during the year when I bought the car. So the cost in the first year I estimate will be a lot higher than the costs in, say, the second year. The extra things I got this year were the Fister Sports exhaust, the wheels, the Lobster 19-inch wheels, which I changed from the Tech Art 20s. I got a custom number plate, a few other things which I had to get for the wheels, and fitment costs. So the costs are probably a little bit higher than what they would be on a... Now we're in focus. The costs are probably a little bit higher than what they would normally be. To start the year off, I'm not going to include the things like the pre-purchase inspection or the stamp duty paid when I purchased the car. So I'm going to take it from when I had the first service done. Now, when I picked up the car, it had a minor service done with Porsche Centre Sydney, South Sydney here. It was a minor service. It needed a major service. I had Autohouse Hamilton here in Sydney, in Chatswood in Sydney, do a major service. They literally didn't charge me for the minor service component that was already done because it was done a couple of weeks prior, but it was a major service. A major service was done because it was a bit overdue on the car. The major service cost, all these prices are in Australian dollars. They're all in Australian dollars, just to give you an idea of what it costs here to own a 911. Okay, so the service was $1,800. The first service, the major service. Now that's not indicative of a major service cost. A major service cost I think is more expensive than that. $1,800. Obviously Autohouse Hamilton is not as expensive as, say, the Porsche Centre in North Sydney, Porsche Centre in Sydney here, or in Porsche Centre in Willoughby, which some of you guys would know about. Autohouse Hamilton's prices are more are better prices. The repair prices are also much lower than Porsche's main service centers. I'm going to start saying Porsche because I was actually corrected. I know I say it wrong. So I'll try to say Porsche from now on. So it was $1,800. That service that wasn't just a service. It had a few other little minor repairs fixed, like a coolant plug, a few other things. So I brought it up to $1,800. So the first cost when I took ownership of the car was the service at $1,800. Then I ordered an exhaust from Darren Fister, from Fister Sports Exhaust in the US. There's a link in my video here. I'll put Darren's link down in the description as well, for you guys that don't know it already. Fister 997, I'm going to read some of this because I've got it in front of me. The Fister Sports Exhaust, to change the cores was $325 US. They will refund you the core price, which was $550 US. I didn't return my cores. I had the velvet black Cerachrome finish put on them, which is $225 US, and then shipping to Australia was $305 US. So a total of $1,405 US, approximately 1,800 Australian. So the Fister Sports exhaust was 1,800 Australian dollars. I then took it to Autohouse Hamilton, and they fitted the exhaust very nicely for me, and it was around $500 for the fitment. Then I had to get replacement tips. The tips that were put on there were the S Sports tips, but they were somehow welded and it was a bit of a problem to get them off. So Autohouse suggested that I replace the tips. So I got the Danks, I think I've said this before, I can never pronounce it, Danks Sport tips, and they were $550, dual tips. So that was another $1,050 to get the exhaust fitted with the new tips. Then, I mean, all these things obviously didn't happen at the same time. As you know, if you watched my previous videos, this was over the period of last year. Then I purchased the wheels from Chris at XO Wheels in the UK. Reached out to Chris, I saw his posts about him on piston heads in the UK, and I think some other forum in the UK, and they said his work was really good. And his Facebook page, he has numerous and numerous pictures of wheels that he's done. And he does Porsche colors, and he mainly does Porsche wheels, and he does a really good job. He does a really good job. So the XL wheels, he just happened to have a set of Lobster S 19-inch wheels, which still had the original coating on the inside. They were in perfect condition. Excuse me, I'll just get rid of my phone. They were in perfect condition, and even though they're in perfect condition, I had them refurbished. I had them refurbished in satin platinum, if you've seen my video here. Satin platinum, which is a GT4, GT3 color, custom color, which you pay a little bit more for, but it was worth it. So the wheels all up, they cost 1,300 pounds. 1,300 pounds, I think, was about 2,200, 2,250 Australian dollars. So that was for the 19-inch Lobsters, 4 19-inch Lobster wheels, the complete sanding back, refurbishing, done to a high standard. Anyone that's seen my wheels, you'll understand they are very, very good quality. Okay, so then with the wheels, I bought them in the UK, I had to get them back to Australia. I managed to, so I shipped 2 of the wheels through Royal Mail. I forget what it was, Royal Mail Parcel or something. It was quite expensive. The 2 wheels cost me $600, around about $600 Australian, I think it was $600 Australian to ship. The other 2 wheels I brought back as baggage when we came back to Australia. We're lucky enough to have extra baggage allowance for being Gold Flyers, so we actually used that, packed less, and I brought 2 of the wheels back in oversized luggage. So that saved a little bit of money there, because the freight is very expensive from the UK to Australia. So then I took it to, I took the wheels to, there's actually one thing I left off my list here, I've just realized. So when I got the wheels, I had to get new tires. So the tires that I bought were I did a video about it, whether I should get N-Spec or not. You guys were really helpful. I ended up getting the Michelin Pilot Sport 2s, N-Spec, which are up to N2 now. I was tempted to get the Michelin Pilot Sport 4S. I have heard they're a really, really good tire. I know there's a couple of people I know who have just actually had them fitted, so I'm interested to see how good they are. Maybe that's something for next time. But I wanted to stick with the N-Spec tire, so I got the Michelin Pilot Sport 2s. The 20-inch Tech Arts that are on my car originally had 325s on the back, or 305s, is it? 305s. I just got the factory recommended 295 N-Spec. I got completely what the factory recommends for the Michelin Pilot Sport 2s. So I had them fitted at Spinning Wheels here in Sydney. The cost of the tires was around 1,950 Australian dollars. 1,950 Australian dollars. They do a really good wheel alignment there. I hear they can be very expensive. I chose to take it out to Autohaus. I'd rather just stick doing things with Autohaus Hamilton here. So I took it to the Porsche specialist here in Sydney, and they did a really good wheel alignment for me for more spirited driving, as you guys would know, for the twisties and stuff. So, nicely set up. And that was another $300 Australian for the alignment. You can obviously spend a lot more on the alignment than $300. I just got the basic alignment done. I know you guys have probably got GT3s, you set them up and they cost a lot more to do the alignment than $300. So, what next? Then I purchased the decals from Carrera Decals in the US. He did have an online web store, he doesn't have it anymore. I think he just sells from his Facebook page. But they were inexpensive, really good quality. I think the Carrera, the decal that I've got on my car cost $75 Australian, I think converted, something like that, $75, $80. So that's quite a good price for the decal. The decal was, with the decal, I also placed an order with Suncoast around about the same time, because I needed the new lug bolts for the wheels, because I wanted to get the black Porsche lug bolts. And then I wanted to get replacement stone guard film for the stone guard, for the back wheel arch. And then I bought, what else did I buy? I'm just looking at my thing. So I got the 2 stone guards. I also got a new pair of factory wipers. I don't actually need them now, but they were quite cheap, so I just put them in because the delivery is quite expensive from the US as well, from Suncoast, even though their prices are really reasonable. So the Suncoast order was another 424 US. 424 US is about 550 Australian dollars, so that's also added to that. Then at Autohaus Hamilton, I had the decals and the stone guards fitted. I can't remember the guy's name. I might link him below if I remember it, because he was very helpful. And he works just near Autohaus Hamilton if you need someone to put on decals or paint protection film. He does a really good job. So they were 110 fitted for the decals and the stone guard. Yes, I know I could have done them myself. I didn't want to. I'd rather just get someone else to do it. I just wanted it done properly, and I just knew I'd probably mess it up. The next thing that I got, and this was probably before the wheels actually, is the custom number plates, the P997 plates. They could be seen as a little bit frivolous, a little bit egotistical, I don't know, but I actually really like them. I think they really suit the car. The plain New South Wales plates here are pretty ordinary. It was a $600 one-off fee for the custom plates. It's very expensive. Then you have to pay an annual fee. So I ordered the plates. They took, I don't know, 6 weeks or something. They're a Perspex plate which comes with a full cover and brackets. The bracket system is really badly designed. It's really hard to fit to your car if you order these plates. I don't even know if they still have them. They're called Prestige plates from My Plates here in Australia. So what I had to do is, anyway, so there were $600 for custom order fee, and then there were $362 when I picked it up, which is a pro rata fee for the annual fee. Because you pay an annual fee on your registration here in Australia to have this custom plate. Autohouse had to fit the plates for me because the brackets were ridiculous and they had to modify it slightly. That cost another $150 to get the plates fitted. And then each year, that, like I said, that's paid into your registration, which I think is about close to $500 every year on your rego. The other thing is insurance. Now, insurance, I called up a few companies here in Australia, specialist companies for prestige and classic cars. I didn't really go with the main insurers. I also called Porsche Insurance. I ended up going with Porsche Insurance through the recommendation of my friend who uses them. They insured the car for agreed value, which is basically what I paid for it. Then I also got the insurance because I'm not here a lot and I really only drive the car on average a couple of times a week. So 2 times a week, 52 weeks a year, it's about 110 times. I probably drive the car 110 times a year because of traveling so much. So the premium is probably reduced a little bit for that, being not a daily driver. The insurance is around 2,100 Australian dollars, and that's with, you know, windscreen replacement. That's full no claim bonus though. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with the insurance. I know I've mentioned this before when I had an Audi, the Audi previously. My Audi was about 1,400 Australian dollars. So the fact that the Porsche is 2,100, you know, I'm pretty happy with that, and I'm happy to stick with Porsche Insurance. They've been great so far. Okay, so that's 2017. Now, 2018 now, I'm posting this video basically because I've had the car for 1 year. 31st of January, 2nd of February I picked the car up. It was ready 31st of January, I picked it up on the 2nd of February. I've actually paid the insurance early, so I've actually put those costs in as well, but I'm not gonna add them to my total for the year because they really are for the following year. But in Australia, you have to pay compulsory third-party insurance with your registration. That's about 500 Australian dollars. Then the insurance was the same amount again, 2,100 Australian dollars. And then the registration fee, which is registration for your registration on the road, plus the custom plate fee, was $818. So they're the costs that I paid so far in 2018. Not going to add those in because, yeah, they're really for next year. But just to give you an idea, the costs haven't really gone up that much. So the total costs for 2017, and this is not going to be the same every year, like I said, because there's things here purchased like the wheels, you know, the exhaust, which won't happen this year. There's a couple of little things that I want, like the Bluetooth, like I've talked about before, which is about $1,000. And then I want the console lid, and then maybe a few more pieces of leather and carbon, but it's not going to be as much as what it was in 2017. So the total, which I didn't add on the tires before, so I'm just adding that on now, is about 13,500 Australian dollars. So that's $13,500 Aussie dollars for 1 year. Now, bearing in mind there are a lot of extra things in there which you wouldn't normally have to pay for. So next year, when I do this video next year, I'm guessing it's going to be a lot less than that. So you would think if you took off the wheels and things like that, you know, it's probably, in all honesty, it's probably like 30% less, 40% less. So it's probably somewhere around 6 grand, maybe even less, actually, probably less. Next year will be the minor service. So the minor service is probably about, I forget how much it is, $1,300 or something dollars. It's a little bit more. So there's the minor service. I do want to change the battery eventually, but because it's on a battery tenderer, I'm thinking that it's not needed straight away. The battery still starts up. It seems a little slow to crank every now and again. The battery in the car is, It's not a Vata battery, it's not a Porsche battery, so I would like to change it, but at the moment I'm just going to stick with it. And that's what Granted Autohouse recommended for me to leave the old battery in, which was nice of him to say that, because I was happy to just replace the battery. I think the new batteries are about $300 odd here in Australia. Okay, so my $997 a year in costs, so that's about it. That's pretty much all the costs that I've incurred in the past year. There's been no major issues at all. Everything is fine with the car. After the oil change, I don't know if it's mind over matter, but it drives really, really well. It feels really smooth. It feels really responsive. Yeah, so all in all, it's been a good year. Yeah, so thanks for watching. If you like this video, please press the like button. And also please subscribe and help support my channel in 2018. Also, if you hit the notification bell, you will also be notified when I post a new video, which is also helpful. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye for now.